Hey everybody, it's your favorite Canadian info warrior coming back at you live for another weekend vlog. I was already on here yesterday, but I'm on here again today. I told you I'd be back. That's just the way I am. I like making videos on my weekends off. So, I was going to mention this yesterday, but the video was already getting to the 10-minute mark, and I didn't really want to go past that, but I might go past that today because I think there might be a lot to say here. So, without getting political, somebody tried to unalive former President Trump again. This would be the second attempt at that. Hairy bugger. So yeah, that's the second attempt on his life. This time it was at Trump International Golf Course in Florida. I guess that's the Mar-a-Lago property. I don't know. Maybe that's another one. I really don't know if he's got two down there or what. I don't really follow the guy all that much, so I don't know a lot about him. But apparently the Secret Service spotted a rifle through the fence, and they fired at the guy, and he ran. And then some random woman saw the guy's truck sitting there and thought it looked suspicious, so she took pictures of it and forwarded the pictures to the sheriff, and that's how they caught the guy. They had his plate number, his truck, and everything. So, a lot of interesting stuff going on, and of course, the conspiracy theorists are going nuts with this stuff. I heard that there's some people are saying that the FBI is leaking Trump's daily agenda so that these people will know where he's going to be and when. And but that's, I mean, that one's kind of hard to buy because apparently this guy, or not the guy, but Trump apparently just went to the golf course on a whim. So it wasn't on his agenda. And apparently this guy was hiding out in the bushes for like 12 hours or something like that. He'd been around the golf course for around 12 hours before he finally saw Trump. And then there's the conspiracy theorists saying that both this guy and the first one are CIA assets. That's always fun to get into with them. But people are asking, well, why isn't the golf course as secure? You know, people who know what kind of measures the Secret Service takes when they're protecting a president are saying, well, the Secret Service didn't do this and didn't do that, and why haven't they done these things? They're supposed to do this in advance of anywhere where the guy's going. But then the answer to that was, well, because he's not a sitting president, he doesn't get the same level of protection as a sitting president. And then the response back from that is, well, security is tighter in Obama's golf course in Martha's Vineyard. I don't know. Personally, I don't like either candidate that's on the ballot right now. Trump is a weird guy. He's yeah, I'm not going to get into that too much. I will just say that if I was an American, I would have a really hard time deciding who to vote for because I don't like either of them. But still a lot of strange things going on with these assassinations, or these unaliving attempts. And There is apparently there's the potential that there was going to be a third attempt because the FBI found explosives near to a location where Trump was going to be visiting in the next couple of days. I think it was Pennsylvania. So that's interesting. And then we've got pagers and cell phones exploding and radios exploding in the second wave. The world is going to hell in a handcart, I tell you. Or as Eric Idle said, the world today seems absolutely crackers, with nuclear bombs to blow us all sky high. There's fools and idiots sitting on the triggers. It's depressing, and it's senseless, and that's why. I like Chinese. Go listen to the song, you'll know. So, here at home, where I'm not really worrying about all that political stuff, I'm having fun watching some of it on YouTube, but I'm not really getting all that into it. Here at home, I'm still working on that damn media server of mine. So I got all my hard drives. I finally ordered the last two that I needed. So now I have a 240 gig SSD as my boot drive for TrueNAS. And then I have 4 2 terabyte Seagate Barracuda hard drives. And all 5 are SATA, of course. And so I went and I reinstalled TrueNAS Core. I brought the tower up here and I put it on my desk and I took everything apart and I put all 5 hard drives in, made sure they all had power, made sure they were all plugged into the right SATA ports. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 anyway. And brought it back downstairs with a copy of TrueNAS Core on a flash drive. And I popped the flash drive in and I installed TrueNAS Core. And everything was great. And I come upstairs and I went into the web interface for TrueNAS Core. And I went and I created a pool. And I set up all the permissions and the user and group and all of that stuff. And I mapped the network drive. Everything's going great. But then I went to install Plex server so that I'll be able to watch my movies on my TVs, right? And the plugin was broken. It said version 13.3 not found. Well, I am running version 13.3 of TrueNAS Core. So, something wrong there. So I thought, well, okay, first thing to try is see if there's an alternative. Maybe the Plex plugin is broken. So I Googled an alternative to Plex, and it gave me one, and I can't remember what the name of it was, but I went through the plugin list in TrueNAS, and sure enough, that plugin was there. So I tried to install that plugin, and I got the same error. So I tried to install another plugin, just a random plugin, and I got the same error. So apparently plugins aren't working all of a sudden on my installation of TrueNAS Core. So I went online and I did some searching, and I found out that apparently now plugins are dead in TrueNAS Core. And IX Systems, the company that makes TrueNAS, wants you to upgrade to TrueNAS Scale. I'm not sure why there's 2 different versions, but anyway, TrueNAS Scale uses full apps. It doesn't use plugins. So I upgraded to TrueNAS Scale. Well, wouldn't you know, Scale doesn't see my hard drives. The only hard drive it sees is the boot drive. And this chair is going down again, slowly but surely. I need a chair sponsor. That's what I need. Like Scott has Fisherman's Guide as his table sponsor, I need a chair sponsor. Anyway, so yeah, TrueNAS Scale would only show the boot drive that it was installed on, which was the SSD. It wouldn't show any of the hard drives. And when I went into the command line and typed in the command to list all the drives, it only listed the one drive. So I rebooted and I went into the BIOS settings of the motherboard. Sure enough, all the drives are there just fine. So then I thought, okay, maybe the drives are of a file system that TrueNAS isn't recognizing, so it's just saying that there's no drives there. I mean, that's not really possible because it would still, or it should still recognize them when I go into command line. It should still show them listed there, even if they were unknown file systems. But I brought the tower upstairs, took it all apart, and I went one by one with those hard drives. I put each of them, I have a USB SATA enclosure, and I plugged each of the drives one at a time into the SATA enclosure, plugged it into this computer, ran partition magic on it, deleted all existing partitions, created an NTFS partition that can be seen by both Windows and Linux. And I put them all back into the tower, went back downstairs, plugged the tower in, set it all up, run TrueNAS Scale, still doesn't see the drives. So then I started thinking I'm going to have to use something other than TrueNAS. So I started looking into Ubuntu, and I installed Ubuntu, but installing the Plex server is going to be easy on Ubuntu, but what's really difficult on Ubuntu, at least for me, is that I'm going to have to create my RAID arrays in command line. And I don't know Linux command line. I know MS-DOS. I don't know shit about Linux command line. I don't know any of the commands, variables, command structures. I know nothing. I would have to have somebody walk me through installing or setting up the RAID arrays. So that's not really an option. So now I've joined the TrueNAS forums and posted my question in there. Why isn't it seeing my drives, and what can I do to make it see my drives? And so now I'm just waiting on a response. I'll probably get a whole ton of responses telling me that I didn't format my question properly, because there's all sorts of egotistical snobs like that on most forums. But hopefully I'll get an answer in there, and then we'll see what happens. Anyway, we're at coming up on 13.5 minutes here, so I guess I'll end this video, and maybe I'll see you again tomorrow after breakfast. So for now, God's willing, Daffy Duck willing, we'll see you all in the next video. Ciao for now.